Okay, this is Kathleen again. I'm just going to walk you a little bit through the website. Once you log on, this is what you will see. Now, anytime throughout this presentation, it's possible that my screen is going to look a little different than yours because I have a different view and I have different access to things, but for the most part, it's going to be the same. So the first thing you'll see is my picture and the picture of the Iowa Western Arts Center. I remember walking through that building when it was just a hole in the ground and I had a hard hat on, and now it's this beautiful performing arts center. So if you haven't been to the Arts Center on the campus of Iowa Western, it really is remarkable. So here's my my name, my home, not my home number, but my office phone number and my email address. You can also email me up here through this email tab right here. If you can see this little arrow, that's where you can email anybody in the class. And if you click on that, you'll see there it is, any class members, and here's my name. You can add me to the list and type a subject, question about quiz 1 or something like that. Type it in here, send it off, and I will get it and I will answer you within 24 hours or less. So that's how that works. So going back to the course, if you open the course home, you can click on any of these files on the left-hand side here, these links. Here's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8. Now, not all of these weeks are going to show up right away. I really want you to work on things in order, but that's basically what it's going to look like. So if you click on the course home, there's some things on here that you're not going to see. Anything that has an asterisk is only for the instructor. But here's my syllabus, and it talks you through my office hours. I'm here 9 to 11, Monday through Thursday. I will also answer email all throughout the week and all throughout the day, really no more than 24 hours between a message. But if you want to talk to me live, you call me on the phone. Most likely I will be in my office between 9 and 11. If something happens, my kid is sick or I have to run to the bathroom or something, I might not get the phone, but that's the best way to contact me. So here's the catalog description you can read through, the learning outcomes, definitely textbook. You definitely want to make sure you have these textbooks because you're going to be really behind really fast if you don't have these textbooks. So there's a theater textbook. It's called Theater by Robert Cohen. It's the 9th edition. There's also the Norton Anthology of Drama. Usually you can buy these used on the internet, or you can go through the Iowa Western bookstore. Now, the types of assignments that we do in this class are listed in the syllabus, and they are all links. So if you click on the link, it tells you more about it. And if you go back to the syllabus, you can go to the next link here. And you can see a description of the activities, what the activities are, which include play quizzes, some internet assignments that I have for you. So you can go through on your own time in the syllabus and click on each of these things, and it tells you a little bit more about it. One thing that's really important to know is that there is a production evaluation that you have to do of a live theater performance. So here is the link to that. It tells you all about what you need to do. You are required to attend a live theater production during this course, and this is an 8-week course. Theater tends to be on the weekends, Thursday through Sunday, so make sure that you are planning ahead of time. Really think through your schedule. I know you guys are a lot of you are very busy. That's why you're taking this class, because it's an 8-week summer accelerated class. However, I do want you to find a live show, and there are tons of shows to see around the Omaha, Council Bluffs area, and I provide some information on how to find something. So don't worry about that. You'll certainly be able to do it, but plan ahead. You will have to write a paper on the production as well. And here's some other links that tell you a little bit more about what to look for when you go see a live show. A lot of you have probably seen a lot of live shows before, but there may be things you didn't think about. And so I'm asking you to write about some little details that the average audience member doesn't really think about. So here's a playgoer's guide. Here's a very descriptive how to write your paper. It tells you 4 to 6 pages long. Please make sure you're using proper formatting of an essay, what to look for. It even gives you a sample of some writing. Here's a paper about Oklahoma written by somebody from Biloxi State University is where they saw it. So it really gives you some pointers on what I'm looking for in the paper, which is helpful. And here is a handy link that tells you about shows in your area. The Theater Arts Guild is an organization that connects all of the theaters in the Omaha, Council Bluffs area. So there's a really great website, tells you exactly what's going on. Shakespeare on the Green is a really fun performance. I used to work for this organization, and they're doing two plays, Twelfth Night and Titus Andronicus, which are both really fun plays, and they're free. So if you're strapped for cash, head on down to the UNO campus and check out some free Shakespeare that's professionally done. Also, the Omaha Community Playhouse, you may have heard of it. It's actually the largest community playhouse in the country, and it's one of the oldest. So they do some really, really great work, and there's a link here that tells you what they're doing. So there's a lot going on. Okay, so that's how the syllabus kind of helps you guide through the course, and that is found in the course home. You can also look through the course policies and procedures. You can look through the due dates. I have a sheet here that tells you everything that's due through the entire summer, and it looks like mine is taking a little long to load, but there it is. You can actually print this out. It tells you what quizzes are due each week. It tells you what discussions are due each week, and if there's any other play quizzes or activities or tests. So in week 1, there's a syllabus quiz and also a quiz over the introduction and chapter 1 of the textbook, so you want to have that read by the end of the first week, which is June 3rd. So if you look at these due dates here, this is Monday to Monday. Everything is always due on a Monday, with the exception of a discussion posting. I want you to discuss with your classmates. This is very laid back. This is very much about your opinions and just for having fun. Think of it kind of like Facebook, only maybe a little less casual. So you've got a discussion here. Introduce yourself, which is pretty simple. And then what is art? I have an article I want you to read and respond to. It's basically a back and forth with your students. Think about it. If we were in a face-to-face class, we would be sitting around talking about this stuff. I do want you to post something in each discussion at least by Wednesday of each week. So really think of this class in terms of there's something due on Wednesday, it's just a discussion posting, and then everything else is due on Monday at midnight. So you've got Wednesday, Monday, week to week. You'll need to get things in. So you're essentially checking into the class at least twice a week. So that's pretty standard for a summer class. Like I said, if this were a face-to-face class, you'd be in class 5 days a week or maybe 4 days a week. So it's not too much to ask to say check in twice a week, by Wednesday and by Monday. So you've got your first discussion posting in each of these topics by Wednesday. Then all the other things are due by Monday evening. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, under this column here is all the quizzes, and this tells you what chapters the quizzes are over. This column here tells you what the discussion topics are, and this column here tells you if there's any extra play quizzes or activities, because there are plays to read, and then there are tests. Test 1 is in week 4, test 2 is in week 8, so that's all there is. Now the production evaluation, when you go see your play, you're going to be writing a paper about it, and the final paper is due by July 22nd, which is the last day of the class, so that makes sense. So if you go see your play early in the semester, like in the beginning of June, you'll want to get that in sooner, but absolutely no later than July 22nd. So this down here gives you a breakdown. There's 13 quizzes, there's 16 discussions, 10 play quizzes or activities, 2 tests, and 1 production evaluation paper, and it tells you how they're graded and how you earn your points. So you can be keeping track. I will try to have things graded within a couple of days, no more than a week after you turn things in, or after they're due, actually, so you can kind of be keeping track as you go. So here's how you look for assignments. In week 1, you just click on this on the left-hand side, and under it will appear all of the assignments for week 1. So here's your reading. First, I give you an overview, everything that's due that week and what the deadline is, just so you remember. When you click on the reading, it tells you what to read for that week, which again is also listed in that chart I just showed you. When you click on the quiz, it tells you what the quiz is, and you can click on this link right here to begin the quiz. Then there's the intro and chapter 1. Now these dates up here will change, I just haven't set that yet. There's a discussion. So here's the introduction to the discussion. It just reminds you what the requirements are. And then when you scroll down here, you click on respond. You read the description of what I want you to talk about, and then you click on respond, and you can type in your, you can make it fancy too with different colors, but you can type in what you want to say. Hello. So there's my first posting in my discussion. I'll post my response. And then when you log into the discussions, oh, I have to put in a subject. Hello, this is my subject. And I post my response and it shows up. So now when you log in, you'll see somebody has already responded and you can respond to them just like you do on Facebook and Twitter and those kinds of things. So that's week 1. Then you go on to week 2 and there's some more things to do. So it's pretty simple. Everything you need is on the left-hand side and it walks you through it. What else do I need to say? I guess that's pretty much it. If you have questions about how to view your gradebook and things, like I said, some of these links might be different than yours, but if you click on the gradebook, you can keep track of your points. I'll try to have that all ready to go by Tuesday. If the gradebook looks silly during the first week, it's because I haven't finished setting it up yet. But there's also a Dropbox link that's really important to know when you need to submit an assignment. There's several assignments that have to go through the Dropbox. The production evaluation paper, obviously. There's a Shakespeare film essay, there's an activity in one of the weeks, there's a production calendar activity, and there's a 2 reviews activity. So you can go to this Dropbox link. I believe the links are also on the left-hand side here. It should take you to it. So hopefully that gives you a better indication. Like I said, this class moves pretty fast, but I don't want you to stress too much. I know it looks like there's a ton of reading. For example, I'm going to show you, I think it's week 3 or week 4. Well, here, week 3. Read chapters 8, 9, and 10, and read the play Tartuffe. So that is a lot of reading. I'll give you a hint about the reading for the chapters. These chapters are pretty dense. I don't expect you to read every single word and retain every single word from these chapters. I just don't think that's reasonable. What I do expect, though, is that you go through the quizzes prior, as you're reading the textbook. It's really a companion for you to be reading the textbook and taking the quiz at the same time. So you'll look at the quiz. These are open book quizzes. You look at the quiz questions. You look at the chapter. You try to sort it out. There's some questions that are essay questions where I'm going to ask you to use quotes from the textbook and things like that. So I'm looking for some critical thinking skills there, as well as just kind of reporting some of the information that you find in the textbook. So use the textbook as a companion when you're taking the quizzes and vice versa. So I hope that alleviates a little bit of the pressure you're feeling as you look at how much reading there is to do in this class. Certainly the plays you're going to want to take some time to read. They're really fun. You can take your textbook to a park or something and sit under a tree and read a play, and that's really fun to do. You can use your imagination as you're reading it as to what is happening in the play and then take the quiz about it. So I hope that gives you an overview of what you can expect for this class. I look forward to working with you.